need to complicate trail running. I'm not gonna start this video talking about loads of gear. What you need to know is running is one foot in front of the other. Trail running is that same thing on trail. And if you're here, you've probably heard of ultra running. That, my friends, is just one foot in front of the other for hours, sometimes days on end. We all caught up? Great. Let's keep this simple because today we are diving into the incredible world that I know and love, trail running. And I am not going to muck it up with the unnecessary advice and gear and make this complicated. It's just not. Whether you are new to the sport, coming from the road, or looking to take the next big leap in distance running, you are in the right place and I am so happy you are here. Welcome to Viz Vibe. I'm Coach Viv. I help runners slow down so they can run fast towards joy, alignment, and true contentment in training and racing. If that's something you're interested in, consider subscribing or working with me as your coach. Now, some people worry about training alone on trail and animal encounters. Others are scared to fall, some are afraid of getting lost on trail, while others still worry about how expensive all the gear might be. All things to consider, but they don't have to be scary or expensive. I am here to guide you through the essentials and dispel any worries you might have about getting into this sport. As a coach, it is my job to fast track you right to the fun part so you can get on the trail adventuring and making memories pronto. I created a free guide linked down below to provide further resources for your next adventure, so make sure and check that out. The first thing is to enter the awe and wonder phase. I want you to think back to when you were a kid. The simplest things were neat. A butterfly passing, dirt could be food, the iron hissed like some animal. Those small things inspired adventure and discovery. As a kid, curiosity was abundant. I want you to tap into that spirit as you explore and create routes to run. Pavement running has its place, but trail running incites a deeper connection to yourself, the land around you, and the infectious community of fellow trail lovers. Starting with a posture of curiosity about the mountains, trail, natural spaces around you helps to make this sport fun and engaging. I find that when you start with an attitude of awe and wonder, the fears you might have thought up, they fall away a lot easier. Let's dispel some of those fears. Animal encounters. They can happen, but they very rarely do. And as we all know, they're more scared of us than we are of them. Brush up on your animal safety if you want to cover those bases, but as long as you respect the wildlife, they usually scurry away. I've picked up gravel or rocks to throw as a scare tactic, but never really needed to use them. They just brought me comfort. I'm not above that. I get scared sometimes too. It happens. And most animal safety guidelines are to back away slowly anyways. Rocks aren't the move, but if they make you feel safer, great. Moose are special. You need to hide because they have poor eyesight, and mountain lions, you need to look big and sound big, but this video is not about animal safety. You can look that up later or check it out in the free resource I created. Falling. Falling is part of this sport. The best in the world fall, I fall, my friends fall. It happens and it's not something to be embarrassed about. Some falls hurt more than others, sure, but if you walk it out or take a little minute to get your pride back, you will recover and go on your merry way. Start with an easier trail and work your way up to more technical trails as you go. Take smaller steps on the trail and choose the most rested days to trail run when you first get started. I went through a period of 4 months where I fell so bad every month, my phone shattered every fall. Now that, folks, was expensive, but I moved through it, replaced 2 phones and some screens, and got back to the trail. Don't let the fear of falling keep you from experiencing the joys of mountain peak views and sunrises in solitude. If you find you're falling all the time, maybe invest in some poles to help stabilize you on the trail, or just pick up a walking stick. Being alone on trail is another fear. I run alone on trails all over the country in unfamiliar places as a flight attendant. Tell someone where you will be, how long you plan to be out, and folks, we live in the 21st century, send them your location. Easy peasy. Start small with a local trail and get familiar with it. Apps like AllTrails and Trail Run Projects are great for navigation. If you plan a little bit before you go, have a charged phone with the downloaded map, you should be good to go. I also always carry a little extra food and water in my pack just in case I do get a little lost. With enough food, water, and willpower, you will find your way eventually. It's part of the adventure. Speaking of food, the great thing about this sport is you get to eat the whole time you're doing it. If you are out for a short run, a water bottle is plenty, but if you go out for longer than 90 minutes, bring a snack, and in the hot months, some form of electrolyte to help replenish your stores. The feed is a great place to find options, but you can also pack things you have around the house like carby goldfish or a PB&J for carbs and sugar. I am all about using what we already have, so if you have a small backpack, try throwing your snacks in a softer plastic water bottle in your pack. Most trail runners eventually graduate to a hydration pack because it keeps things snug and more streamlined. You can buy these new, but this sport doesn't have to be expensive. There are plenty of discounted options online or at places like the REI garage sale. Folks, I have run trails in dresses, in sandals, in comically big backpacks. I have run trails barefoot. Not here in Tucson, obviously, but this sport is about getting outside, having fun, and exploring a place on foot. Whatever minutia is holding you back from adventuring, let it go. Adventure, after all, is an unusual, exciting, typically hazardous experience or activity. You learn as you go, but I do want you to be safe, informed, and have reasonable expectations, so I'll leave you with a few more tips. Shoes. They are in fact important. If you are going to pick one item to buy, it is a pair of good trail running shoes. You are gonna want a pair that fits you well and has a tread pattern that works with your local trail. I recommend going a half size up in trail running shoes to give your feet space. On trail, your feet can swell in the heat and/or if you're running downhill, you don't want your toes hitting that front toe box. That is how you lose toenails. I also put a high value on cushion and a rock plate because I run on super rocky terrain every day. I love the Hoka Speedgoat, but if you're on a smooth, buttery, pine needle trail with very few rocks, you might opt for something more responsive, like the La Sportiva Bushido 2. REI, online running stores, and local shops frequently have discounted shoes when the season ends, so check there if you're on a budget. Similar to falling, walking is a part of this sport too. It's just called power hiking. The best in the world power hike, I power hike, my friends do it too. It is often more efficient to power hike on the steep or very technical terrain. Trail running is pretty much hiking at a faster pace with less gear, usually. Sometimes you even get to scramble with your hands and feet, and that is where the fun, real, exciting adventure begins. But don't think you have to run every step of the way to be a trail runner. This isn't road running where every second matters and every split is important. The only thing that's important here is that you got outside, had some fun, maybe pushed your boundaries and discovered something new about your local trails or yourself, and made it back to tell the story. This is supposed to be fun, so find ways to make it so. If you are still unsure about getting into trail running, look for a group or group runs, volunteer at a trail race to meet more of the community. One of the best parts of trail running is our amazing community. You'll find that no matter how new you are, whatever questions you have, the community is supportive, welcoming, and full of inspiration. Finding a group to share trail miles with is a great way to meet like-minded people, share tips, and stay motivated. Plus, running with others can make those long miles fly by when you turn into an ultra runner, because you will turn into an ultra runner. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to check out that free digital guide for more detailed resources to get started. It has a detailed checklist and additional answered FAQs to further your research. That, the minimal gear I spoke of, and other videos of mine on this topic will be linked down below. If you're just getting into trail running or thinking about it, please let me know in the comments below so we as a community can help you hit the trails quick. Thank you all so much for watching. Until next time, happy trails. Bye!